Good morning. Right, today we're going to be making cushions. That involves sewing, templates, etc. It's for this Nina Campbell sofa. I'll just switch the camera around so you can see what I'm on about. It's for this Nina Campbell sofa here underneath this blanket. So let's just get this uncovered. Just to remind you, if you've not seen it previously, which one it is. This is the Nina Campbell Wilkie sofa. So we have an existing feel from it before it's been recovered. One here. Okay. There you go, you can see what sort of state the original one was in. And here's our new fills. Our new fills are a foam and feather. So just to explain that a bit better for you, the foam and feather fills is like a foam cushion wearing a feather puffer jacket, for the best way I can describe it. They're a premium product. This particular ones that I get, we can change the foam in the core, simply unzipping it and taking the foam core out and replace it. I've got a medium density core in these ones. The firm is very firm, but some people like that. So anyway, there you go, that's the foam and feather core. When we supply people with replacement cushion fills, normally takes a couple of weeks to get them in. We can supply you with all sorts from foam and feather. If you're hyperallergenic, we can do you foam and fibre fills. They all vary on price depending on which fill it is and the size and the complexity of it. So unfortunately, trying to give people a quote when they say, oh, I want some replacement sofa fills, how much are they going to be? It's not as simple as that. Unfortunately, one style of fill doesn't suit all. But there you go. So today we have a collection that we need to do, and I want to get these cushions cut. So I'm going to just unpick this cover and put the fills into the sofa, which I can do now. There's one. There you go. That's one. Let's get the other one out of the bag. Put that one in there. Just tuck that in. Bit more fiddly with one hand. So that's the new fills. They look a little bit oversized at the moment, but you use oversized fills. The covers bring them down. They're going to be covered in the leather. We don't do the cushion entirely in leather because the leather doesn't breathe, so it would feel like you're sitting on a balloon. So the underside of the cushions, we use a fabric. I'm going to use the same lining that I used on the seat base. There is another option where you can put some breathers into the borders, but I don't particularly like those, so we're going to stick with leather on the top and sides and the front lip, and the fabric on the rest of it to allow it to breathe. Right, so there you go. But first off today, I've got to do a collection when my colleague gets in. so we'll be back later with an update to how I'm getting on with this sofa. Okay, speak to you soon. Right, so next we're going to unpick the original cover, just so I can use the top as a template. It will need adjustment, but it's a starting point more than anything else. So let's mark the front of the cushion. And the size of the border, this point here to there. Let's give that a mark. Let's measure that. So that's approximately 4.5 inches. So I need to cut my border at 5.5. Just mark that on there. So just going to break the stitching. This cushion's been overlocked, which is good to see. Incidentally, I used to make these Wilkie sofas when I was working in Norwich, so that's one of the reasons why I was pleasantly surprised to come across it on an auction site. Been to travelling to collect it, but it's going to be for myself, this one. So anyway, all I do is break the stitching all the way around, and then the rest of it can be discarded. It just gives me a starting point for the template for the cover. Not so important with this because it's pretty uniform. It's a square cushion, so hopefully it'll be fine. But if you're doing T-front cushions or anything else, then it becomes more important. You don't really need to see me do this, so we'll come back to you once I've got this stripped and on the sofa to check it for size. Okay. Right, that's the old cushion top removed and laid on the new cushions. As you can see, it's not going to quite fit now. I'll try to explain this a little bit for you. Initially, the cushions that were in this job were a feather fill. So cushion covers are cut to suit the style of fill that are being used. So you can't just, if you've got a feather cushion, you can't just put a foam fill in it. It's not going to fit correctly. I have to explain that to a lot of customers. It's not a simple process always. So this cushion doesn't fit quite, so I'm just going to mark it, and it gives me a starting point for my covers. So let's have another look at it. Right, so it's a little bit short front to back and a little bit side to side. Other than that, it's not bad, it's pretty close. So we'll mark that up. Alright, so here we have a seat template, so to speak. I've measured it, as I said. I've added an allowance on it to fit the job. This is leather. Doesn't come on a roll, comes on a cowl. So it comes cowl shape. This is the back of the leather, this is the front, it's to go on that sofa. So I can template this out, cut it. All the panels, so the top, a base, sides and the piping. I'm not going to pipe the back edge, I'm just going to pipe the 3 sides. It looks better without piping there because it doesn't disappear down the back there. So let's get this cut and ready to be sewn. Right, as I'm sure you can hear in the background, the sewing machine's going, so we're ready to start sewing now. The leather's been cut, as you can see, and that's the bottom cloth that we're going to be using on the underside of the cushion. So that's the tops there, and here's the piping and the zip borders. Start sewing. Right, first off, let's start with piping. So I'm going to join the piping together. Join it together and run it up in one length. I'm going to sew the joins in the piping. Sometimes we will just glue them, but for more durable finish, I'm going to sew them. So, sew these cushions, you're probably looking at about an hour and a half to do that now from them being cut. So I'm not going to put you through that. You'll get the general idea. I'll get one sewn for you and filled, and we can take it from there. Hopefully not too long we'll have this sofa ready to go back to the customer, which in this case is myself. Right, well, the cushions are sewn, the sofa is done, the cushions are in the job and filled. I think it looks very nice. So there we go. This over my shoulder is the next job. Can just get that in there. But we're just going to re-web it. It's got Pirelli webbing in it. It's the manufacturer of the webbing back in the day. So that's going to be a quick job in the morning. Get that done. But let's show you how this sofa came out. There you go. All done. Cushions filled. What do you reckon, Taka? Does it meet your approval? No, he's just got nothing to say on the matter because he thinks he's going home now. Anyway, sofa's all done, ready. I think it looks very nice, very tailored. You could just about see through the outsides there. We've got the Persian blue on the outside, the very dark wenge arms. So I can tick that one off the list. Breakfast treat from next door. Happy dog. So that's not going to last him long. So next project is to re-web this. This is what is quite often referred to as Pirelli webbing. Find this on a lot of eurcol chairs, sofas, etc. The webbing is gone very brittle, dried out, and as you can see it's stretched. It's not actually, it's supporting, but it's not springing or anything like that. So this is quite interesting. You can see how the ends are done. It's just riveted over on a dowel. We can improve on that. So I've got the webbing here, down there. So that's next. And then where Rob has been very busy stripping this sofa and chair here. You can see all the cushions stacked up. Process of the arm. We have to, when we're stripping stuff, certainly stuff like this, we don't keep templates for every piece of furniture on the planet. So we have to use the old covers as templates, so it needs to be careful in ripping it up and labelling it, especially with this sort of thing, because it's got the cushions are all zipped on. So to make sure that we put the zips on the right way round, we keep everything, and it's quite a long process. I'm sure you can imagine that. So it's not a case of just recovering it. We have to disassemble it to rebuild it, and that's where time is added. So it's all part and parcel. So let's crack on, do the prelude webbing first, and see what else happens today. So, having done that eurcol style chair, I don't think it's a genuine eurcol because they're normally stamped underneath, and that one wasn't particularly. We're going to get on with the next project. Is for a repeat customer again. He's having his leather sofa recovered in a fabric which we will show you now. Right, that's the back of the sofa. There's a pair of arms stripped. There's an old cover. You can see the state of the leather. There's the seat cushions literally falling apart. The fabric they've used on the underside of the cushion is deteriorated. Cheap fabric they've used on the underside, unfortunately. And there's the back cushions. Again, same issue. The fabric is just rotted. There's a back cushion. You can see the state of it. I'm sure it looked lovely initially, but it hasn't lasted. So the customers want to go back to a fabric. This particular fabric we've used on the customer's last sofa. Excuse me, I've just realised I'm saying a lot. There you go. Right, so process with this. It's obviously been stripped now. My colleague stripped it, ready for us. I need to first of all get on with getting the cushions cut, replacement fills if necessary ordered, and the cushion covers off to the machinist so she can get on with sewing the replacement covers up whilst I'm doing the carcass being the back, the seat, the two arms. Here's the old back cover. Again, very sorry state, and yes, that probably is what you think it is on there. So anyway, I've got to strip this, use this as a template, reuse the zips if necessary, and get it looking smashing again. So I will crack on. I will try to record some of the activity for you, but these things aren't done in 10 minutes, so we'll be back with a update on this. Well, the sun's sort of come out today. It's looking quite nice. That's the end of this video. I hope it's been informative and entertaining. Please like and subscribe. It means a great deal to us. Ring the bell. We'll keep producing the content. If you have any comments, please make them below. And we'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.